Welcome to the Drunken Syndicate. The only place where gaming, geek culture, and a dash of chaos collide in perfect harmony. Whether you're a seasoned adventurer, a digital warrior, or just here for a good laugh, grab a drink, roll some dice, and join us on this wild ride. Today, we've got something special for you. What do a man who thinks he's from another planet and a criminal mastermind have in common? More than you might think. In our latest episode, we dive deep into the uncanny narrative similarities between K-PAX and The Usual Suspects. Two seemingly unrelated films, one shared structure, mind-bending twists, unreliable narrators, and the power of persuasion. If you've ever questioned reality or love a good story that keeps you guessing until the end, then this episode is for you. Get ready to unpack how Kevin Spacey's characters in both films manipulate not just the people around them, but the audience too. So, whether you're here to unravel the mysteries of cinema or just slay time with some friends, the Syndicate's got you covered. Cheers to another round of great conversations and even greater friends. This is Drunken Syndicate, where the game is always on, the theories are deep, and the drinks never stop flowing. Let's dive in. When thinking about K-PAX and The Usual Suspects, these two films initially appear to be worlds apart. One is a sci-fi drama about a man who claims to be an alien, while the other is a gritty crime thriller about a notorious criminal mastermind. But look closer, and you'll notice that they share an eerily similar narrative framework. Both films center on a single character whose identity is shrouded in mystery, and by the end, each movie delivers a jaw-dropping twist that calls into question everything the audience thinks they know. Let's dive into how K-PAX and The Usual Suspects essentially share the same underlying plot structure. Unreliable narrators. At the heart of both K-PAX and The Usual Suspects is an unreliable narrator. In K-PAX, we have Prote, played by Kevin Spacey, who claims to be an alien from the planet K-PAX. Throughout the film, Prote's psychiatrist, Dr. Powell, tries to determine whether Prote is genuinely an extraterrestrial or simply delusional. Similarly, in The Usual Suspects, Verbal Kint, also played by Kevin Spacey, spins an elaborate tale about the mysterious criminal mastermind Kaiser Soze. His story, while compelling, is full of inconsistencies and omissions. Both Prote and Verbal weave narratives that captivate and confuse, leaving the audience unsure of what to believe. Each film hinges on this uncertainty, using the character's storytelling as a vehicle to build tension and intrigue. Prote's interstellar origin and Verbal's connection to Soze are equally suspect from the start, with both characters displaying an eerie calmness that draws in both the audience and the characters around them. Identity and reality. The theme of identity is central to both films. In K-PAX, the question is whether Prote is a man named Robert Porter who suffered a tragic mental break, or if he is truly an alien visiting Earth. The film constantly blurs the line between reality and fantasy, as Prote exhibits knowledge and abilities that seem impossible for a human to possess. In The Usual Suspects, Verbal's entire story is a puzzle, carefully crafted to obscure his real identity. As he recounts the events leading up to the fateful boat explosion, we're drawn into the mystery of who Kaiser Soze really is. By the end, it's revealed that Verbal himself is Soze, and the entire story was a fabrication to throw the investigators off his trail. In both cases, the true identity of the protagonist is concealed until the final moments of the film. The narratives are structured to deceive both the characters within the story and the audience watching it, leading to the same shocking realization: neither Prote nor Verbal is who they claim to be, or at least, who we were led to believe they were. The power of persuasion. Prote and Verbal are master manipulators. Both characters are skilled at convincing those around them to believe their version of events. Prote's calm, otherworldly demeanor gradually wins over his psychiatrist and the other patients in the mental institution. His cryptic knowledge about space, his mysterious dietary preferences, and his ability to see ultraviolet light all suggest there's more to him than meets the eye. In The Usual Suspects, Verbal's physical frailty and seemingly innocuous nature make him appear harmless, which is exactly how he wants to be perceived. He manipulates the detectives by playing the role of a meek, disabled man who's lucky to be alive, all while spinning a web of lies. Like Prote, Verbal uses persuasion to control the narrative, steering others toward the conclusion he wants them to reach. Both films explore how perception can be manipulated, and how easy it is to mislead someone when they are desperate for answers. Dr. Powell wants to believe that he can help Prote, just as the detectives want to believe Verbal is giving them the truth about Kaiser Soze. In the end, they, and the audience, are left questioning how much of the story was real. The shocking twist. The hallmark of both films is their final twist, which completely recontextualizes everything that came before. In K-PAX, we learn that Prote may indeed be an alter ego of Robert Porter, a man who suffered a traumatic loss. However, just as we think the film is leaning toward a psychiatric explanation, Prote seemingly transfers his consciousness to another patient, leaving the door open for the possibility that he really was an alien. The Usual Suspects famously pulls the rug out from under the audience in its final moments when Verbal, after being released, reveals himself to be the elusive Kaiser Soze. The entire narrative was a fabrication, and the details he included in his story were plucked from objects around the detective's office. In both films, the twist is not just a plot device, it's a revelation that forces the audience to reconsider everything they've just watched. Both K-PAX and The Usual Suspects keep their secrets until the very end, leaving viewers with an ambiguous and unsettling conclusion. The reality of Prote's extraterrestrial origins and the truth behind Verbal's identity are both left tantalizingly unclear. Conclusion: a shared structure. K-PAX and The Usual Suspects are built on the same narrative structure, an enigmatic protagonist, an unreliable narrator, and a plot that builds toward a reality-shattering twist. While one movie delves into the psychological and metaphysical, and the other is a taut crime thriller, the core mechanics of storytelling in both films are strikingly similar. Both Prote and Verbal are characters whose true nature remains elusive, and both films use misdirection to keep the audience in suspense until the very last scene. In the end, both K-PAX and The Usual Suspects remind us that the truth is often a matter of perspective, and that sometimes, the most convincing stories are the ones we want to believe.